I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. I strolled through its lush gardens and saw every little wonder up close. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the appetite. Walls that hold heroes' stories told me of their bravery, while sacred places blessed my journey. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning.
Every day, I wake up to a feast. Where I can sink my teeth into history. Or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness, expanded my pantry, and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets, an unforgettable eats, a celebration of flavor in every bite, and an epic new party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
Maayong adlaw sa inyong tanan. Mabuhay, everyone! You're now boarding GPSTV. I'm Aya Fernandez, your online travel buddy. Join me as we navigate our way through your favorite destinations, making sure, of course, to #Go Safe, Go Travel. So let's start the program today with a question. What does traveling mean to you? So ngayon, 27th episode na natin. And syempre marami na rin tayong nabaong mga sagot sa ating mga guests. And is it to discover new cultures? Like kung paano ba sila namumuhay or ano yung mga pagkain nila sa kanilang kultura? Or is it to find yourself? para sa iba, para sa mga imotera dyan, at mga nagsusoul searching. Yan, because sometimes, kidding aside, it's also really good to have your own me time, di ba? Or is it to find love? Or is it to fall deeper into love? Yee! Kayo na nanonood ngayon sa Facebook and YouTube, reflect kayo mga 10 seconds. Tapos, comment nyo na rin sa mga sagot nyo dyan sa baba sa ating live stream. So, di naman natin makakaila na talagang that you get to appreciate the beauty of the world when you go out to travel and experience yun naman, sa dami ba naman ng mga biyahero at biyareha, di ba? Biyahera, yon, biyahera natin, di ba? And I, for one, love to travel kasi, syempre, you get to know, your Filipino identity kapag nakakapag-travel ka. Mas nagiging proud ako na maging isang Pinoy. And what a better way to explore the world than experiencing 3 things. Yan. Live, love, and travel. Diba? Ang ganda ng opening natin dito sa GPS TV. Hi! So let me now call on our online travel buddies for today to give us some insights on how to do just that. Again, that is live, love, and travel. For our first guest, he is the partner manager of Travelite Travel and Tours and events planner, financial legacy planner. So prior to tourism, practice for 15 years lang naman, which focuses on outbound special interest tours, inbound and MICE or MICE. Professional work experience includes various fields in taxation, auditing, accounting, pharmaceutical sales, and marketing and insurance. So, malamang malaki-laki talaga yung perspective na maibibigay natin na niya sa atin this day. Matt Punin!
Hi! Maayong hapon kaninyong tanan.
Napakaganda ng hapon dahil sa iyo, Matt. Maraming salamat for being here. Our next guest, siya ay isang flight steward based in Manila. Joven de la Fuente.
Hey yo, what's up? Live, love, travel lang guys.
Mamaya, malalaman pa namin ang iyong mga saloobin tungkol dun sa live, love, and travel. Our third guest, approximately 75% of their guests and clients are members of the LGBTQ plus community, and the 25% are friends and allies. Wow. Their small organization has become one of the safe spaces where people can be themselves, and I'm for sure they're not anymore a small organization because for your cause, you're a huge and unique, magnificent one. Founder of Hash Travels, Lexi Aurelio.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Explore.
True. Later, malalaman natin yan kung ano nga ba yung explore na sinasabi mo, Lexi. Thank you for being here. Our next guest, he is the OIC of G Expeditions, Ralph Gonzalez.
Hi everyone! Good afternoon!
Magandang hapon, Ralph. Maraming salamat for being here. Our next guest, siya isang surfer and travel enthusiast, Charlie de los Reyes Caraig.
Hi, good afternoon. Sending good vibes from La Union.
Ayun na nga ba sasabihin ko eh. Ang iinggit kayo eh. Nangingit ka, Charlie. Pero maraming salamat for being here na kahit kaka-surf mo lang, nagpa-unlock ka sa amin dito. Anyway, sa ating manonood ngayon, tune into GPS TV on Facebook and YouTube to learn more about tips for worry-free travels and unique journeys to boot. Now, again, mabuhay sa inyong lahat na narito na nasa iba't ibang sulok at lupalop ng Pilipinas. Diba na? Merong nasa Cebu, nasa La Union, Rizal. So now, gusto ko muna kayong simulan na tanungin ng kung ano nga ba yung mga reasons nyo. Bakit nyo love mag-travel? So in relation to your work, bakit nyo love mag-travel? Siguro start tayo sa nangiinggit dyan. Charlie.
Well, I work in a company right now na I get to use travel from one place to another. So, doon ako na namulat na ang sarap pala. And then I drive every day like almost 4 to 5 hours in a day.
Sorry, anong work mo ulit, Charlie?
So I work in a pharmaceutical company right now. So currently medical rep ako. So kilala
Tapos
ng lahat.
paano ka nakakapag-travel dahil sa pharmaceutical company?
Because of work, sometimes pag mga after a SEM, 6 months, we go to Boracay, we go to Palawan, or sometimes, Manila, Baguio.
Yun, parang medical mission ba yun? Or...
No, because my work talaga is really based on going to different clinics. So, I get to go to doctors, then talk to them. So at the same time, may mga programs kami na we need to be with them. So ayun, from time to time talagang isa akong kalad ka rin. Lagi akong wala sa isang lugar. Sobrang nomad ako.
Oo.
So ayun. So doon ako nag-start na magustuhan ng travel. And aside from that, aside sa mga sinabi mo kanina about culture, pagkain, pero yung travel naging siya sa akin, alternative way to medicine. Kasi yung real medicine, minsan masakit lang yung ulo, masakit lang yung likod natin. Pero yung totoo, gusto talaga natin mag-travel. Tapos, ito, travel din, naging therapy din siya sa akin. So, I do meditation, yoga, pero travel iba pa rin yung dulot na bigay sa akin kapag parang therapy ko talaga siya.
Ang ganda.
And lastly, naging eye-opener siya. Parang ang laki pala ng mundo. Parang ang saya pala. Ang dami palang tao, ang dami pang dapat matutunan, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, hindi lang sa the usual everyday nakikita natin.
And also, kasi as you get to open your eyes, mas na-appreciate mo yung mga maliliit na bagay. Or actually, yung mga bagay na akala mong maliit pero hindi pala.
Totoo,
thank you.
Yun.
Thank you, Charlie, for that.
Thank
Ikaw,
you.
Matt. Napakaganda.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mas maganda ka. Anyways, basically, ever since I was young, talagang I really love to travel. Ironic nga because up to now, meron pa rin akong, when I travel talagang I really have to make it a point that I'll be sitting in front kasi may motion sickness ako. But whether it's actually domestic or international travel, definitely yung travel for me is something that will provide us, I think siguro sa mga kasamahan natin dito, amazing stories that we can actually share it to our friends, especially I'm in the travel industry, so I share it a lot with my clients and of course with my loved ones. Tapos syempre yung mga meaningful experiences then, of course beautiful memories, yung mga countless learnings which are actually irreplaceable. And aside from, of course, learning the culture, learning the food, in addition to that, it also teaches us to go out from our comfort zones. And thus we broaden our horizons. And I think that truly matters when you travel also. It also provides us an opportunity na i-explore yung destination with an open heart and an open mind. So I think that's the main reason for me. For now, kasi before, I would like to travel kasi gusto ko maraming tatak yung passport ko. But now, totally different yung perspective ko when it comes to traveling.
Nagsimula sa ganon. Oo.
Yeah.
Ano yung turning point, Matt, na parang nagsimulang nagbago yung perspective mo sa traveling? Kasi diba dati parang marami lang tatak, ganyan. Ngayon, kailan nagbago?
Well, like what Charlie has mentioned a while ago, it realized na you have a realization na there's a lot of things to explore and there's a lot of people, and when you open your eyes, when you open your heart, you get to experience all of this destination and you get to respect other people as well. Try to learn their culture, even if like the food that we eat is not the same food that they offer. So you try those things. Anyways, hindi ka naman everyday yun yung kakainin mo. So with that, you were able to imbibe all of those things when you travel. And yun nga you get to respect each culture. Kasi if your mind is not open, marami kang mga questions. So true. I think that's the turning point for me.
Thank you, Matt. That's coming from someone who has years of experience in the tourism industry, guys. Ikaw, Lexi, bakit mo love mag-travel?
I love to travel. Three main reasons. One is deep connection to people and nature. Second is learning. And third is experience. Deep connection kasi sometimes when we establish connection to people, medyo shallow lang, medyo
Small
mababaw lang
talk.
yung, yes, ganun lang. Doon lang natin sila nakikilala. But if you got to travel, tapos meron kang mga nakakasama, mas nakikilala mo sila, you get to know them better and to have more deeper connection with them. Tapos after the travel, nagiging friends na kayo sa social media, sa Facebook, and of course, more connections as well. So kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan mo. Kaya I really wanted to travel kasi ang dami nating makikilalang mga tao, especially we can always grow our network and we can always learn from their experience.
True.
Can share, 'di ba? Yung mga kung saan sila nag-travel, ano yung mga pinagagagawa nila sa buhay, ganyan.
Na pwede ko rin pala yung gawin, mga ganon.
Yes.
Curious lang ako. Ikaw ba ay nakahanap ng the one dahil sa travel o
There is one, pero hindi naman siya the one, like dating lang.
Okay. One of the ones.
Oo, one off. And then syempre,
Oh.
yung connection din with nature, napaka-importante kasi 'di ba nasa city tayo lagi.
Yeah.
So yung vibe ng nature, yung energy na pinoprovide ng nature, napakaganda niya. Kagaya ng sinabi nung isa nating kasama kanina na yung you've got to connect with nature. Iba kasi yung energy vibe niya, healing properties ng nature. Ayun, so nakaka-add siya sa healing sa katawan natin. Yun. And learning, syempre, ang dami mong matututunan kagaya ng mga cultural experience ng mga nakikilala natin, yung mga kinakain nila na pwede nating i-try along the way na hindi naman natin kinakain on a day-to-day basis. We got to know na, may mga ganun palang pagkain, masarap pala siya, hindi pala siya, yung mga ganun. So, yun yung nakakatawa. And of course, experience, di ba? So, yun lang naman yung mababaon natin at the end of this lifetime. You've got all of those experiences. So, yun din naman yung ma-share natin sa mga makakasama natin sa buhay, those experiences.
That's what I like the most of what you said, na we share it with our loved ones. Na after mo mag-travel, hindi lang siya sa'yo, pero nagmamanifest siya sa mga ginagawa mo sa ibang tao na peaceful. Kapag peaceful ka na within, peaceful na rin yung actions mo outward after. I see you nodding, Ralph. Ikaw, what are the reasons that made you love to travel?
Actually, yung love ko for travel, nag-start siya in a very, very different way. I grew up here in Los Baños, Laguna since birth hanggang college. Pero nung magtitesis na ako, parang sabi ko, I want to try something different eh. So, I did something na yung thesis ko, inilink ko siya sa Palawan.
Wow.
And nilink ko siya sa tourism ng Palawan. And it's very different. When you go to Palawan kasi, you always think of Puerto Princesa, you always think of Coron, you always think of Nido, but there's so much more eh. So I help municipalities in between Puerto Princesa and El Nido to grow their tourism industry.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's Rojas, Dumaran, and Taytay, and they can offer a lot. They can offer even.
Can you give us a brief overview of the work that you do para sa ating mga audiences na hindi nakakaalam?
Currently, I'm working with the government. I am a development officer for the North-South Commuter Railway Project. That's a railway project from Calamba to Clark, Pampanga. But before, I had experience with Department of Science and Technology as researcher for the flooding.
Ano naman yung G-Expeditions?
G-Expedition is one of my side hustles. Nakilala ko siya sa pag-travel ko din. Since naghahanap ako ng mga tao na makakasama ko kasi I want to travel alone. Yun yung goal ko nung isang beses sa life ko. I want to try traveling alone. Gusto kong ma-experience yung pupunta kasi sa isang lugar na wala kang kilala, na ikaw lang mag-isa, and you make friends. Then I found G-Expeditions. Then G-Expeditions is very welcoming naman sa lahat ng tao. And hindi ako na OP, hindi ako na out of place, hindi ako na lost. So, nagsunod-sunod na hanggang sa...
So, G Expeditions, isa siyang travel agency.
Yes.
And going back to what you were mentioning about Palawan, ano yung masasabi mo tungkol sa na-discover mo o natutunan mo doon sa Palawan, doon sa ginawa-gawa mong project before?
Yeah, that's my thesis, my undergraduate thesis. Na-discover ko na there's so much more. There's so much more than El Nido and Puerto Princesa and Coron. Marami pang pwedeng makita sa Palawan. So I helped the municipalities to grow. Binigyan ko sila ng tourism plan for them to grow na pantay-pantay. Walang aangat na isa. Lahat sila mag-grow based on their specializations. For example, Dumaran Palawan. I don't know if you know Dumaran Palawan, but Dumaran Palawan has a very, very nice coastal communities. So yung sanya parang Boracay. Rojas Palawan, they have like birds that dun mo lang makita, parang mga ganun.
Endemic birds, oo.
Endemic birds, yes, and so much more.
Ganda.
Then afterwards, nagkaroon ako ng work na lilibutin ko naman yung buong Palawan. So doon na nag-start yung love ko for traveling. And in between those experiences, doon ko na meet yung mga tao, yung mga locals. Actually, yung mga locals talaga yung pinakamasayang ma-meet. Kasi doon kami pinakamatututunan sa locals. Sa culture nila, sa way ng pamumuhay nila, yung tuturuan ka nilang mangisda, tuturuan ka nilang mag-bird watching sa isang island nila na puro endemic birds. Yung mga ganun. Magka-crocodile hunting kayo. Yung mga ganun.
Masaya, nakaka-excite. Thank you.
Ang pinakamasaya, tutulog ka sa simpleng tirahan lang. Kung saan sila nakatira, doon ka din tutulog. Yun yung pinakamasaya.
Parang naging immersive type siya of traveling. Ang ganda nun kasi parang nare-relive mo kung paano talaga yung pamumuhay nila doon. Thank you, Ralph. Ikaw, Juven, in relation to the work that you do, ano yung mga rason bakit na you were made to love to travel?
Ako, Miss Aya, sobrang nag-iba yung perspective ko when it comes to traveling. For me, traveling right now, of course, aside from it's part of my job to travel, for me, traveling is a non-stop learning experience na parang ang dami kong natututunan, not just like immersing to different cultures. Natututunan ko yung what not to say as a sign of respect, what not to do, na parang na-apply ko din siya on my daily life dito sa Manila. And of course, aside from na-appreciate ko yung ibang culture ng ibang bansa, mas na-appreciate ko yung culture nating mga Pilipino, kung paano tayo mamuhay dito sa Pilipinas na palaging masaya, palaging festive, ganyan, na parang aside from appreciating other countries, other way of living, mas na-appreciate ko yung kung paano tayo dito sa Pilipinas na tulungan, may mga positive outlook tayo dito sa buhay. So yun lang yung medyo na compare ko.
Kaya masasabi mong dahil doon sa pagko-compare mo, mapapatunayan mo talaga na #it's more fun in the Philippines.
Yes, tamang-tama. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Thank you for that, Joven. Charlie, ikaw, who do you love to travel with? Although kanina na-mention mo na gusto mo, you love to travel solo, but who do you love to travel with? Are you more of a solo traveler, or do you enjoy the company of loved ones kapag go out in and about ka?
Ang first ever travel ko internationally talaga, solo. Kasi very independent talaga ako ever since high school hanggang mag-college hanggang mag-work na. So, well, it works for me both. May kasama o wala. Pero pag it's time for me to, really find yung genuine travel, gusto ko ako lang mag-isa. So yung Japan ko, sobrang solid nun. Kasi last minute booking yon. I went to my best friend sa Japan. Tapos mag-isa lang ako. And then, syempre...
Pero ano yung travel mo locally? Na may share mo na pinaka-memorable? Was it solo or with a group?
With a group, I think. Kalibo Aklan, the best.
Wow.
One for the books talaga ang Kalibo Aklan. Like, nagpunta kami doon, ati-atihan.
Wow.
Parang sobrang saya lahat. As in, sobrang lahat lang nasa cloud 9 lang din lahat.
Nice.
Lahat nakangiti, lahat nakatawa, lahat marunong tumutog.
Anong month nga ang
January,
graduation? Wow.
kasabay ng sinulog. So, ayun. Okay naman, masaya pag may kasama din talaga. Na-realize ko nga din yung difference ng mag-isa sa pag marami. So, parang pag marami, yun lang pag marami, kailangan may isang taga-organize eh. Hindi pwedeng lahat nagde-decide kasi pag nag-decide lahat, alam mo yun, yung timeline and everything medyo nahihirapan. Pero minsan nandun din naman yung style eh. Pero usually kasi pag mga group travel, ako usually nag-organize. So, may experience na rin kasi ako because nagkaroon din ako ng small part-time before nagkaroon ako ng small travel agency din. So, ayun. So, pag mga ganyang mga booking sa mga grupo, ako laging takbuhan ng mga tropa, mga ganyan. So, sobrang solid.
Yun yung role mo dun sa barkada.
Oo, yung role, pati pera, lahat.
Hala,
Kasi
pati pera. Yung taga-organize.
Flight,
Kala ko
booking,
taga-sagot
hotels.
eh. Mag-volunteer na akong barkada. Hindi pala. Taga-organize lang. Ikaw, Lexi, who do you love to travel with? Or ikaw ba yung type na solo traveler?
I love to travel with a group usually kasi nga dahil sa hash travels namin. So when we started, kami-kami pa lang magbabarkada before we launch the travel agency. So yun yung pinaka-memorable na experience kasi doon ko din naranasan yung mag-travel na sobrang hipit yung mga schedule, na sobrang madalian. Tapos yung tipong natutulog kami sa mga bus station just to catch up yung travel na to catch up the itinerary. So yun yung pinakamasaya. We've been to Butuan, going to Surigao, Surigao del Norte, del Sur, then we go to Siargao, then we go back to Camiguin. Tapos yung itinerary namin, sobrang siksik lang, like 5 days, ganyan, kailangan matapos na namin. Kaya kailangan talaga yung parang pagdating namin sa bus stop, kakain lang kami, mag-aabang ng bus, and then travel ulit, natutulog lang sa travel, natutulog lang sa bus station. Tapos ang dami naming napuntahan. Tapos yung masaya doon kasi, kapag yung mga kasama mo wala masyadong kaartihan sa buhay, yung parang carry lang kahit anong gawin, kahit saan matulog, kahit anong kainin, yung mga ganyan. Walang chachiboreche, walang masyadong pag-aayos. So okay lang, lahat cowboy, cowgirls, cowgays, or everything. Ganun. So, yun yung masaya kasi mabilis na natatapos yung itinerary. And then marami kayong napupuntahan. Kaya yun yung masaya. Nag-solo travel naman ako minsan pero doon na sa mga familiar places, doon na sa mga napuntahan ko, na feeling ko comfortable na ako pumunta mag-isa. Gusto ko ako lang din. Yeah, I want to experience it with myself alone. So yun yung mga pinuntahan ko. Especially Siargao, yun yung paborito kong puntahan.
So when was Hash Travels founded, if let me ask?
We founded Hash Travels 2017. Yun. So mga last quarter na ng 2017. Tapos all out kami 2018, 2019, hanggang 2020 Feb. Bago nagkaroon ng lockdown. Ayun. Tapos isa sa mga paboritong puntahan din talaga namin sa Palawan is Balabac, Palawan, the southern part. Yes, Balabac, Palawan. Oo, we've explored that place so many times. Like in a year, naka-4 kaming punta. Tapos lahat yun, puro guest yung dala namin. So sobrang saya, sobrang ganda nung Palawan na yun na hindi pa masyadong na-explore kasi karamihan nga ng tao laging pumupunta sa El Nido, sa Coron, ganyan, sa Puerto Princesa. Pero southern, hindi pa nila masyadong na-explore. Tapos meron ngang risk ng crocodile attack din doon sa Balabac, Palawan. Yun. Kaya medyo natatakotin yung mga tao pumunta.
Congratulations on the 3rd year of Hash Travels. And definitely, sana makatulong din tong GPSTV para get back on track ang Hash Travels dahil napakaganda ng inyong purpose, ng inyong meaning. Thank you so much, Lexi. Ralph, I saw you nodding dahil nabanggit ang Palawan. Pero ikaw, who do you love to travel with? Or solo traveler ka?
Solo traveler. But upon nung kilala ko yung GX, doon ko na-realize kasi syempre pag joiner naman, yung joiner kasi yung tawag doon joiner traveling, yung makiki-join ka lang sa isang grupo. Nung nakilala ko yung GX, ang saya pala. Nung una kasi mag-isa lang ako, then nung napasama ako sa kanila, parang sila yung bago kong nakilalang friends, and ang saya. May socials, hindi napapabayaan yung mga tao, yung van namin may karaoke. Alam mo yun, along the way hindi ka mabobore kasi may magkakantahan. And sobrang saya kasi majority din sa amin, LGBT community yung kasama. And sobrang jolly talaga pag sila yung kasama. Sobrang jolly. Walang dead air.
Oo.
Hindi nakakapagod sa travel. Kasi tawa lang kayo ng tawa. Even may konting abirya, tatawa lang kayo. Then, yun yung una. Then, nasundan na siya hanggang sa naging part na ako ng organization. And I love to travel with someone that I don't know. Yun yung goal din namin sa GX na matanggal yung takot ng mga tao na mag-travel mag-isa at makamit ng mga bagong friends. Kasi usually kapag may mga niyayaya ako sa travel, uy, sama ka dito. Ang lagi reply, natatakot ako, mag-isa lang ako eh. Sabi ko, no, huwag kang matakot. You're here to meet new friends. Madami kang makikilala dito. And hindi naman sila nagsisi. Minsan nga yung mga naisama ko, minsan pag uwi nila, sila na. Yung mga
Sana all.
may mga nabubuong love. May mga nabubuong heartbreaks. Yun yung
Heartbreaks
joy ng
din.
travel. Kaya glad din ako na nakilala ko yung GX. And dun sa other tours naman na nagagawa ng tours, sobrang saya din. Sumama din tayo sa mga.
Ano tawag dito? May tatanong ako, nakalimutan ko. Pero congratulations for being part of GX. And kaya anong year ka nga ulit naging part ng GX Expedition?
Naging part ako ng GX 2018. Unang sumama ako sa Maniwaya Island. Yun yung mga weekender na tinatawag. Yung syempre pag kulang ka sa oras, kailangan mo ng instant travel. Yun, may mga weekenders kami na dyan lang sa malalapit, as in Saturday, Sunday, but yung pack yun yung experience.
Saya. Sige, mamaya tatanungin ko kayong lahat kung saan namin mahanap ang inyong mga social media accounts sa inyong mga pinagtatrabahuhan para kami rin makijoin. Thank you so much, Ralph. Matt, ikaw, you mentioned bata ka pa lang, mahilig ka na mag-travel. And nakakaingit ka nga kasi nasa Cebu ka at ang napakaganda dyan. Who do you love to travel with? Or unless solo traveler ka ba?
Well, actually, it depends on my mood because I mixed business with pleasure. Usually in a year, I travel to almost like 30 countries, no? And different parts of the Philippines also. So, but actually, my partner...
Lagi kang workation.
So, yes. And actually, my partner and I are the one running the business. So, minsan siya yung aalis. Pagkatapos, pagbalik niya, ako naman yung aalis. Minsan, mas matagal pa yung nasa labas kami compared na nasa Philippines kami. Alam mo yun? So, but again, it always depends on the mood para sa akin. For example, when I travel to Europe, and then there's a trade show that I'll be attending, for example, in London, I'll be extending like probably 2 to 3 days. Kasi pag business, pure business, talagang wala kang time para makalabas. And then I'll extend 2 to 3 days. Anyways, we've been returning to those places from time to time. So yun.
Pero dito, pero yung local travel mo na maalala mo talaga, memorable yun.
Napakadami. Sobra. But one thing, I think it's our experience in Palawan, because we have to make it a point that yung partner ko and meron kaming one travel na kami lang talaga magkasama kasi nga syempre masyadong busy, no, na halos hindi rin kami nakikita. Ngayon lang ulit nga kami nakikita after being stuck in Manila for almost 10 months. So for the longest period of time, I'm in Manila, and then nakauwi ako sa Cebu last 2 weeks ago. So yun.
That's good. Kinikilig po ako for you. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
And actually, we're celebrating our 15 years together today.
OMG! Happy 15th anniversary! And sorry dahil kasama mo kami, pero sige, bibilisan na natin tong discussion. Charot lang.
Okay, it's okay. No
pero
problem.
thank you. Kinilig ako lalo. Thank you for spending the day. Alam mo, kahit isang oras lang to, thank you still for lending us your time and happy 15th anniversary. Ano po yung pangalan ng partner niyo?
It's okay, no problem. Tim, I'm actually happy to meet new people today also.
Tim, happy 15th anniversary sa inyo and thank you for lending us, Matt, kahit 1 hour lang, promise. Anyway, ikaw, Joven, who do you love to travel with?
batiin ko muna si Miss Matt. Happy anniversary. So, yun lang. Siguro I like to travel before with my friends kasi syempre nakarelate din ako sa sinabi ni Miss Matt na parang when you're, for me as a cabin crew, syempre I'm traveling officially. So parang ang main purpose ko talaga is to serve safety and service sa pasahero. And yun talaga yung pinaka-goal. But since pag nasa layover ka na, yun, luckily dun sa pinagtatrabahoan ko, we get to bid for a specific flight every month. So parang yung mga friends ko, we bid the same flight. So yun, dun kami nakakapag-OOTD, ganyan-ganyan. So parang, but right now, ang purpose ko talaga is to travel my parents because only child ako. So parang as someone na exposed na dun sa mga destinations, parang gusto ko ako na yung mag-tour guide sa kanila ng libre. So, ayun. Right now, yun yung goal ko after this pandemic is to travel with my parents.
Saan sa Pilipinas mo sila gustong dalhin, Joven?
First, sa Cebu kasi grabe, sobrang saya sa Cebu. Kapag may local flight ako na Cebu, sobrang enjoy ko sa Cebu.
Saan sa Cebu?
Hindi, sa ano lang kami, sa Movenpick, tapos like yung food, lechon, bucket shrimps, nagsabi na ng mga establishments. But yun,
Okay
sa
lang
Cebu,
yan.
tapos yung swimming with yung mga butanding sa Oslob,
Yeah.
yan, sa
Meron din sa Kawasan Falls, malapit
yes,
din yan
Kawasan
if
Falls.
hindi
Tapos
ako
yung Temple
nagkakamali.
of Leia, yung 10,000 Roses, yan yung mga usually dinadayo namin.
Oh, sweet. And good luck. I'm sure mangyayari yan. And go safe before you go travel with your parents, Joven. And right now, even if mobilization and traveling is quite limited, meron na tayong mga provinces na slowly nagre-reopen na, di ba? And nakapakasaya nun and reopening its shores for local tourists. And kaya nga merong trend ngayong after yung quarantine, like seeing although we do not celebrate the loss, but seeing the silver lining, we see na mag-increase yung local tourism. So which is, it's a good news, diba? Thank you, Lord. May good news kahit paano. And if you haven't explored the Philippines, you may want to go to yung mga usual, yung Boracay, Baguio, Siargao, or if you live in Metro Manila, why not yung baby travels muna, go south to Calabarzon. Ngayon, tatanungin ko kayo ng fast talk. Yan, where in the Philippines would you love to go? Charlie.
Would love to go again or kahit hindi ko pa napupuntahan? Siguro gusto kong balikan na lang.
Okay.
Batanes.
Batanes.
Definitely Batanes. Gusto ko mamundok doon. And ayun.
Although alam ko hindi pa ata open ang Batanes
Hindi pa.
kasi nga merong carrying capacity, which is good kasi at least naghahanda talaga sila bago mag-open ulit. Pero same, nasa bucket list ko ang Batanes.
And baka wag akong tawanan, di pa ako nakapagpalawan.
Oh!
Kasi hindi ko siya inuna kasi dahil alam ko naman sobrang ganda talaga ng Palawan eh. So parang dun muna ako sa mga destinations na hindi masyadong pinupuntahan. So mas gusto ko i-explore yung mga bagay na hindi po masyadong pinupuntahan ng tao. So yun, gusto ko yung mga ganun. So yun mga gusto ko pang isang puntahan na hindi ko pa napupuntahan, Romblon tsaka Siquijor. Yan. So dalawang yan. Siquijor is really a nice place. But from what I heard plus Romblon din. Gusto ko yung Romblon kasi hindi ko pa na yung Mimaropa part talaga eh. Like Mindoro, hindi ko pa napupuntahan. So gusto ko yung mga puntahan.
Meron kaming episode one time na merong mga tourist guides from Siquijor at nakaka-excite nung pagkaka-describe niya at balita ko napakasarap ng pagkain, yung mga seafoods nila doon. So, abangan namin yan. Ang iyong mga travel posts, Charlie. Ikaw, Lexi.
Balik-balikan to the end time. Siargao.
Pero yung gusto mong puntahan na hindi pa napupuntahan?
Masbate, Samar, Northern Samar part, tapos yung Leyte na part, tapos yung Yeah, oo yun. Yung mga isa sa South Luzon area, yung Calabarzon area na part na hindi pa masyadong na-explore. Marami din kasing puntahan dun eh. Though I've been to Catanduanes na din. Ayun.
Oo.
Tapos syempre yung province ko, di ba, nasa Sorsogon, nasa gitna kami, sa pinakababa kami.
Oo,
Pero yung mga karatig, yung mga nandito sa atin, Catanduanes sa kabila, Samar sa baba, yun hindi pa masyadong na-explore.
Oo nga, tapos sakto yun kasi pag pumunta ka doon, tapos dumalaw ka na rin sa sa bahay ninyo sa Sorsogon. Diba?
Actually, correct, oo. Actually, nag-arrange din ako ng tour sa Sorsogon kasi nandun yung mga friends ko. So, usually, pumupunta kami sa mga bahay ng friends ko. Sila yung nagluluto for us. So, kaya sobrang saya. Kaya nadadalaw ko din sila kapag nag-arrange ako ng tour sa Sorsogon.
So, sige, good luck to that. And I wish you bon voyage sa iyong nagpagplano mo ngayon papuntang Sorsogon and yung mga karatig na probinsya. Ikaw, Joven. Dami mo nang
din.
Dami mo nang napunta. Hindi ka
Well, to be honest kasi Miss Aya, hindi pa ako kasi masyadong exposed locally kasi syempre yung travel ko lang naman is kung saan kami napupunta kasi parang once a year lang kami nakakapag-travel kasi nga vacation leave, ganyan. So parang di pa ako masyadong nakakapag-travel sa Pilipinas, especially Palawan na parang sobrang obvious maganda sa Palawan pero hindi ko pa siya napupuntahan.
Sabagay, okay lang naman. Oo nga naman. Parang nakakaingit naman talaga pag hindi ka pa nakakapunta. So, alam ko, almost ready to reopen. I'm not so sure. Pero alam ko, kinoconsider na nila ang kanilang carrying capacity sa Palawan. So, good luck sa iyong Palawan trip. Ikaw, Matt.
Well, I actually have 3 destinations in the Philippines na talagang gustong-gusto kong puntahan. No? First is Romblon. Because talagang sobrang daming sinasabi sa akin about good things about this destination which I haven't been to, no? Yung taga DOT in Mimaropa talagang sobrang pag kinuwento niya sa akin, ito yung gagawin nyo, tapos ganito lang yung magagastos nyo, parang can you bring me tomorrow? Can you bring me now? Parang ganon. So yun, and then Samar, which I've been to Samar 2 weeks ago before I come to Cebu. So that's with DOT, Tourism Promotions Board also. And then lastly, the Tawi-Tawi. Kasi when I researched the destination, talagang very, very beautiful. And of course, unexplored then. So I think those are the destinations na in the Philippines which I really love to. At saka ito na rin yung mga destinations na hindi ko pa rin napupuntahan.
Oh, thank you, Matt, for sharing that with us. Ikaw, Ralph.
Sabi na po ni Miss Matt. Tawi-tawi din ang gusto kong puntahan. Yung part ng tawi-tawi. Pasila, yan yung gusto kong puntahan. Kasi sobrang unexplored. And I have a friend na pumunta doon. Sobrang ganda ng islands nila. And next week, I'll be going to Boracay to experience the new normal. So, titingnan ko kung ano yung magiging new normal sa Boracay. Naku. And also to encourage na rin yung mga friends ko na magpunta. Kasi usually, ang takot nila talaga ng COVID. But when you practice the protocols naman, I think it's safe naman. So, I'll be going to Boracay next week.
And sinubaybayan ko ang updates ng Boracay sa kanilang protocols ever since March. They are, alam mo yun, head in the game. Alam nila kung yung dapat nilang alamin. And inaamin nila pag di nila alam. So gets, kampante ka. Diba mas mabuti yung ganun eh. Yung parang, gaya nung sa Batanes, yung parang hindi pa kami open. So parang kapag nag-open na sila, kampante ka na okay nga talaga na sila. So clap, clap, clap for that. I commend those provinces who are like that. Thank you so much, Ralph, for sharing that with us. Now, gusto ko kayong tanongin naman right now on how can we keep the people we love safe during this pandemic, like financially, pwedeng financially or pwede rin physically or based on your own experience or kung paano nyo i-interpret yung tanong na how can we keep the people we love safe during this pandemic? Let's start with Lexi.
Very important yung sinasabi nating or tinatawag nating mental health. So as much as possible, we try to communicate with them. We try to kumustahin sila kahit papaano. yun, isa yun sa mga siguro na pwedeng makatulong to keep them safe. And then secondly, siguro finances. Pagdating sa finances, napaka-importante na meron silang naitabi kahit papano dahil sobrang tagal na nating naka-quarantine, 'di ba? Simula March until now. So, as much as possible, dapat meron naman silang ginagastos from then on kung wala silang work up to now. Dahil kung hindi, wala na silang kakainin, 'di ba? And also, yung mga safety protocols na lagi nating pinapractice, lalong-lalo na ngayon na lumalabas na tayo. So, napaka-importante ng face shield, face mask, alcohol dito, alcohol dyan. So, kahit saan ka magpunta, dapat lagi ka talagang may alcohol. Precautionary measure kasi nga, hindi pa naman nawawala yung virus. So, I think yun lang yung pwede nating, for the meantime, habang nandito tayo sa pandemic, mga precautionary measure. And of course, 'di ba, sumunod tayo dun sa mga protocol na sinasabi ng government kasi makakatulong din naman 'yun sa atin for the meantime. So, tiis-tiis, tiyaga-tiyaga. So, darating din yung time na matatapos din 'to. So, habang nandito tayo sa pandemic, make the most out of it. Create something relevant to you kung nasaan ka man, sa tiningin mo makakatulong sa'yo. Mag-grow ka, may matututunan ka, at kahit papano, magiging extensive yung experience mo kahit hindi mo ma-remember yung pandemic na sobrang pangit kasi ang dami mong nagawa, ang dami mong natutunan.
Tsaka ang ganda nung nakapag-grow ka kahit na yung paligid mo, ganito yung nangyayari. Iba rin yung ganung pakiramdam. Although, syempre, wala namang pressure, no rush. Like, kung feel mo wala kang gustong gawin, okay lang din. But
Yes.
it's also good if you're able to go through what is happening right now. Thank you, Lexi, for that. Ikaw, Charlie.
Fan talaga ako ng physically fit dapat talaga tayo nowadays, lalo ngayong pandemic. And, tama rin si Lexi, it's also the mental health na we should prioritize. So, pero aside from that, apat kasi yun eh. Spiritually, alam mo yun, and also emotionally. Dapat binuboost natin yung isa't isa eh. And then, relatives, families, friends, yan. So, as much as we can do, gawin natin. And then, yun nga, for me talaga, importante na, yung mental health natin talaga ngayon. Right now, na-hospital ako few weeks ago. So, ang dami kong realizations nitong pandemic. And because of that, nag-enroll ako ng pagiging Reiki master. So, yun, healing others aside from also healing yourself. So, that's my way of, reaching out to others. So, hopefully, pag natapos ko yung class ko, yung in-enrollan ko, hindi lang during this pandemic but also afterwards. And also, importante talaga din yung finances. Let's save. Even after this. Kasi, most especially, for sure, baka iba, my dad has maintenance, 5 or 6 medicines in a day. So, importante na mag-save ako or whatever will happen. Meron akong bubunutin. Hindi ako mahihirapan. And, yun lang, I think, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, maging healthy tayo.
Thank you, Charlie, for sharing that with us. Pero for the benefit of our viewers na hindi nakaalam kung ano yung na-mention mo na in-enrollan mo ngayon.
Yeah. So si Reiki, it's a Japanese term for energy healing. So parang naniniwala yung founder na yung gumawa na yun, si Usui, na within ourselves, yung energy natin within ourselves, kayang i-heal whatever pain we have. For example, headache, back pain, or not necessarily physical pain, but also yung kine-carry natin emotionally, mentally, mga iniisip natin. Yung mga, minsan kasi, baka ang dami nating sinesearch na mga medicines and all, pero hindi natin alam, nasa sarili din natin yung sagot natin eh. Nabablock lang yung energy. Well, definitely it's a negative energy that you're releasing. So instead na maging positive, nagkakaroon siya na, yung negative energy na yun, nagkakaroon ng negative effect also sa katawan mo. Which is that is the cause of maybe baka dahil may severe headache ka or maybe may pinagdadaanan ka. So, ayun. So, kaya ako pinasok yun kasi when I was in the hospital, lahat ng nurse, doctor, pasok every now and then, 5 times a day, maybe more than. Parang lahat busy, lahat inahabol yung buhay. Parang let's take it slow. Parang bakit nangyayari sa ating lahat to? May lesson din yung pandemic and hindi naman natin lahat to ginusto. Pero nung sinabi ko, I think nag-meditate lang ako and then naiyak ako and then I think I know my power, I know my strength, I know what to do. I want to help others, I want to help heal themselves. So, ayun. Pero siyempre, definitely, nag-start dun sa sarili ko. Hindi ko pwedeng hindi i-heal. And
Oo.
luckily kasi I have friends, I have supports, I have support system networks. Kaya andun ako sa verge na magkakaroon ako ng anxiety and depression and all.
Yeah.
Pero hindi nakatulong talaga yung meditation and all. So yun, hopefully matapos ko yung enroll yung class ko and then ang goal ko talaga is really sa La Union kasi dito na ako magsisettle.
Oo.
Gusto ko ilapit
Nice.
sa hospital yung itong Reiki na to and afterwards hopefully mag-meditation master din ako. So tapusin ko muna yung Reiki. Yun.
Oh, we wish you all the best, Charlie. I see
Thank
Lexi
you.
putting a thumbs up. We wish you all the best. Prayers,
Salamat.
love and light. Ikaw, Ralph,
Salamat.
how can we keep the people that we love safe during this pandemic?
For me, simple catch up. Kamusta? Hello, how are you? Would really help a lot. And syempre, before helping others, you have to help yourself first.
Yeah.
Meditate. Make sure to keep yourself healthy in all aspects, physical, mental, spiritual, before helping others. So, meron kang foundation sa pagtulong sa iba. So, ayun din ang laging sinasabi sa mga tao na, sa mga friends ko na, save, kasi make sure na may emergency fund ka, mag-save ka. Swerte tayo na meron tayong work during pandemic. Always help others kung meron kang sobra. Madami siyang donation drives, madami siyang relief goods na naghahanap ng mga donations. You can help by simply just giving the amount that you want, kung ano lang meron ka, and it would mean a lot. Also, ang sinasabi ko, physical health, doing household chores, galaw-galaw, maglakad-lakad, that would really help a lot. Kasi ako, during the pandemic, nag-weigh ako ng almost 80 kilos and hindi siya masaya. So I'm now transitioning to almost 70. So nag-lose na ako ng and kasi hindi talaga healthy. Maapektuhan talaga lahat when nandun ka sa health stage na hindi ka healthy. Kaya physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and helping others and yourself would really mean a lot.
Congrats from 80 to 70. Ang laki nun. Thank you, Ralph, for sharing that with us. Ikaw, Matt, ano naman sa'yo? How can we...
Well, basically, in addition to what they have mentioned, there's a lot of realization that this pandemic has brought us. Para sa akin, it's really knowing your purpose in life, because sobrang active nung buhay natin, and then all of a sudden biglang stop, 'di ba? Parang, and then we realize na 8 months, 9 months na tayong ganito. So it marami din siyang learnings na naituro sa atin. But para sa akin, since I'm also a practicing financial and legacy planner, you really have to have an emergency fund. Yung emergency fund nga dapat 3 to 6 months lang yan . Kaya lang, look at it right now. I mean, we've been stuck for almost lockdown for almost 7, 8, 9 months. So I think personally, if wala kang emergency fund, that will be a huge problem for you. Kasi hindi naman natin sinasabi na kapag nawala na tong pandemic na to, in the future, wala nang pandemic na darating, di ba? So, it actually help us na to realize na to prepare for a bigger challenges in our lives. Number 2, I think you really have to find protection tools for yourself, because not to being too about it, like coverage for your financial risk, like risk for na magkakaroon ka ng sakit, or risk na magkakaroon ka ng problema financially. So, syempre, pag tumigil yung life mo because of pandemic, wala kang source of income. So, ano yung gagawin mo? So it's important that you have these tools also that protects your finances as well. I think yun lang, kasi nasabi naman nila yun, di ba? Like following the protocols, no? And
Napakaganda nung inad nyo, emergency fund. Kailangan talaga yun. So thank you, Matt, for adding those. Joven, ikaw?
Ako, Miss Aya, based on my experience, ang dami kong friends or like kakilala that are going through anxiety and depression. Especially at this time na parang there's no assurance kung may trabaho ka pa ba tomorrow or no. Especially yung tourism industry natin is medyo at risk ngayon. So parang ang laking bagay ng word na kamusta, gaya nga ng sabi nyo, yung word na kamusta, sobrang laking bagay ng support system. Encourage them to do kahit na small online business. Yung parang just make yourself busy. Kasi ang nangyari kasi sa atin ngayon, parang we have so much time na walang ginagawa alone. So parang we have so much time to think about certain things na parang unnecessary things na parang nagkukos sa atin para magkaroon tayo ng anxiety. So parang like ako yung ginawa ko, naging coping mechanism ko din yung pagbenta ko ng mga pinagliitan kong damit kasi nga like biktima din ako ng mga gained pounds dahil dito sa pandemic. Dahil siyempre di tayo nagkikikilo, sanay tayo ng medyo pagod lagi, hyper.
Okay lang yan, normal yung nag-gain.
Kaya parang, parang nagbenta ko ng mga clothes ko na luma tapos ngayon ako, like sa social media, ang laking bagay din, kahit na sabihin mong TikTok lang yan, ang laking bagay na maaliw ka when you're a content creator.
True.
Ganyan. So parang, yun lang, like, just make yourself busy na parang less time alone. Yun.
Thank you so much, Joven. And siguro ang kahalagahan kung bakit nabanggit yung mga bagay na yun ay para sa ating mga viewers, malaman nila na hindi kayo nag-iisa, valid yung mga nararamdaman natin kahit na napakatagal na at siguro sawang-sawa na tayo sa ganitong usapan. Pero guys, valid yung mga nadarama nating kalungkutan. And andito nga kami para nga damayan kayo dyan at sama-sama tayong makabangon. We may have different reasons on why we want or why we love to travel, and all these are valid. When we come back, let's find out how we can merge our passions and advocacies with that love for traveling. GPS TV's Journeys. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, this is Geoffrey Soles from the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and thank you GPS TV for inviting me. So here are the following questions given to me and I'll be answering it. I've been in the hospitality industry since 2009, and then I was part of the academy as well. I handled tourism and hospitality, or HRM, and as they say, if you wanted to teach anybody about a certain industry, you have to tell them the things that they should love. So if you're talking about traveling and to becoming a hotelier or becoming a steward as well, you have to tell them exactly what they should cherish. So as a hotelier or into hospitality and tourism, we have to appreciate the destinations, the culture, the history, and the people, the food, and so many things that although it may be visual, first that's aesthetics, because coming from the marketing and PR, I'm the one who always like communicates a lot of reasons. I've been coming up with articles and media conferences. I always have to believe that the first thing that comes is the aesthetics. But aside from that, what really people cherish and would always be remembering of is about experience. So you talk about the people you meet. It's always you have to be very particular on how the interaction of each guest the moment they arrive to a destination, to a property. So in a hotel, especially if you are coming from a 5-star hotel, you have to make it sure that the impression is really of high standards and quality. And then if you are talking about comfort and home, so you have to really mean it. The moment they arrive, they have to be comfortable of themselves, of whatever they are wearing, so that at the end of the day, the expectation guests and the experience will be matched. And that's where you get a lot of good reviews. And in hotels and in tourism, it's about the feedback. And I guess it goes with a lot of industries. That's something that I have appreciated. But although in hotels, it's about consistency. Because unlike in retail or other industries wherein you just manufacture it, and then once a formula is perfected, then all of the particular productions will just be just the way it is. But in tourism, it's about service. So you always have to maintain a good relationship with your people, so that when you tell stories about experience, about the food, you see, even a simple gourmet has to be consistent, and it's not something that you could just overproduce or reproduce instantly, because it takes a lot of craftsmanship, of effort in terms of our chef. And for example, you go to a room, it's about the bedding. So it's not just about the linens, but it is how we prepare the beds. We make sure that everything, all the lint are being taken care of, the scent of the room. So all of these things. I was also given the opportunity to promote the province of Pampanga. And in that particular time, what we just have to do, and what the leaders of the province was able to somehow encourage me, is to look into the lives of the people of our history. Learning that the heirloom recipes, the families and the communities, and how they cherish the cultural significances and how they do things. Then these are the things that we could actually tell our tourists, whether they are local or even foreigners. And I guess I cannot ever run out of so many stories, because I've been doing and meeting a lot of people, and so far, this has been one thing that I would cherish for the rest of my life. Lastly, the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce is really coming up with a lot of series of talks in terms of we call it the chamber talks and seminars in collaboration with other private sector and even the government, particularly in business sectors. Why? Although that we wanted to do a lot of our projects halted just because of the pandemic. But I mean, it's not just about us, but we have to do something about it. And this is the mentality that we have. So what we have seen is that we cannot do it ourselves, but we always have to cherish and identify as well on how we could work with a lot of people and sectors. So we've been doing this chamber talks and research with the various embassies, and we appreciate them that they have been continuing being supportive of us, and they have already expressed even pushing through with other further projects until the next year. And thank you for that. All we just have to do now is to expand our reach. That's why the membership is also ongoing. And if you wanted to reach more about and to know more about the projects that we have, please visit our social media site. And again, you could also get in touch with me. And I'm here hopeful as well for the tourism sector to bounce back. And like any other industries right now, we have to make ourselves optimistic, and we have to keep in touch. That's exactly what we do. And on this particular case, we wanted to thank everybody who has been here all these years, the Department of Tourism, the national government, the local and the private sectors, who are even amidst the typhoons Rolly and Rolly and Ulysses even. We've been doing a lot of CSR. I mean, the 2020 may not been ideal, but is good to know that people are always there to extend a help. From the start of the Tagaytay, the Mount Mayon, we have seen a lot of sectors. We've been involved in a lot of community outreach and empowering the communities, providing not just the relief, particularly even now that we are dealing in Cagayan or Tubigaraw, Isabela. I'm fortunate that most of my colleagues in communities from the present even up to now, my companies and friends are still being involved on how we could really take part of that. I really do pray that we still be able to have that kind of spirit. So again, on behalf of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce, we wanted to invite you to join us and again, even to reach out on how we could improve not just the lives of our own fellow communities, but we're speaking of the whole country itself. We have to learn on how we could do better in businesses and on how we could build relationships regardless of our differences. Because at the end of the day, we only have one country, one world, and we just really have to do something about it. So thank you, and again, probably I would like to express my greetings already for the happy holidays. Thank you.
Mabuhay, welcome back. You're still with me, Aya Fernandez, your online travel buddy. Let's continue our conversation with our online travel buddies. And ngayon tatanungin ko kayo, what are the things that you are passionate about? Sige, yun muna. Para kasing susunod kong tanong doon, in connection to eh. So, hobbies, advocacies, Charlie?
Definitely hobbies ko, surfing, no? So, connected yung naging passionate, yung passion ko sa surf. So, since nasa surf town community ako ngayon, ang daming eco warriors dito, sobra. So, recently may mga issues kami na inilaban, so nanalo na kami. So, hindi ko na lang babanggitin. But, definitely, naging eco warrior din ako eh. So, katulad ng mga umaakit sa bundok, diba, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-iwan ng kalat. So, ganun din sa dagat.
Pero, kung okay lang sa'yo, pakibanggit yung, siguro yung
Ay, saya. So,
Oh,
yun.
for sure.
Meron kaming mga, yung coal plant, magkakaroon kasi dapat ng coal plant dito. Eh, syempre, ang dami namang ways on how to get energy, di ba? Like, hindi lang naman to coal. So, meron naman geothermal and all. So, yun. I think,
Was it
hindi
a
siya
foreign company or local company?
I think it's a local company.
All
So,
right. And
company.
napagtagumpayan nyo para mahinto ito.
Yeah. I think so.
Sa La Union? Sorry.
Sa dapat sa Luna siya ilalagay. So, sa Luna, La Union. So, the most northern part of La Union. Maybe one last two towns of La Union. So, ayun.
Yun.
So, yun. Ayun, isa sa mga naging passion ko talaga is also kung ano yung mga naging advocacy ng mga tao dito, nahawa ako. Then, pangalawa, ngayon, I shifted to, kasi vegan right now. So I'm trying to educate people also, not to encourage, but to encourage, but not to force na, masaya maging plant-based eaters, maging isang plant-based person. Kasi, kumbaga, lalo na yung pandemic, sinasabi ko nga sa mga friends ko, eat more vegetables kasi compared with meat. So, kasi mas healthy, mas marami ibibigay sa atin eh. And lastly, I'm a person of work-life balance. Talagang sinasabi ko yan sa mga friends ko and even to my parents, to my mom, to my sister. Katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina sa tanong mo, na wag tayong masyadong maging busy sa trabaho, baka may mga hindi na tayo napapansin. So, ayun nga, try to explore. Baka may mga hobbies ka na gusto mong gawin. Try to find new skills. So, I think yung work-life balance yun, isa sa mga advocacy ko yun.
And it's good that you get to find that sense of purpose, diba?
Totoo.
Thank you,
Totoo.
Charlie, for that. And basta mas makakabuti sa mas maraming tao sa common good, congratulations at sana mapagtagumpayan nyo yung mga pinaglalaban nyo dyan sa La Union. Thank you also for fighting for the good. Ikaw,
Lastly na lang, sorry.
Yeah.
Siyempre, meron kasi kaming pawikan mess dito. So, sa mga magta-travel lang sa La Union, so yun. Kaya sinasabi namin bawal talaga magkalat dahil yung shoreline ng La Union, pawikan area siya. So, dito nag-lay ng mga eggs and all. And also,
sorry, di ba November and December yung parang hatching season?
Oo. So, ayun. So, remind ko din na, syempre, bawal magpatugtog ng malakas sa beach. So, yun din isa sa mga sinasabi namin ngayon. And lastly, kung pupunta sila dito, may mga sarili-sarili silang mga basket. Ilagay nila sa itinerary nila. Aside from going to falls, going to scenic spot, ilagay nila sa itinerary nila yung mag-beach clean up. So, I think magandang way yun of starting the day and also maybe ending the day kapag magtutour kayo sa beach and maybe sa bundok. So,
nice. Sige, noted yan. Noted yun, guys, ha? Thank you, Charlie. Ikaw, Lexi. What are the things that you're passionate about? Hobbies, advocacies?
As much as possible, you want to minimize garbage. You want to minimize yung mga stock mo sa bahay na masyadong madami na hindi mo naman ginagamit. I observe myself when I go to the mall, nagsha-shopping ako. Kasi di ba may mga boxes, may mga paper bags, may mga plastic. Let's say, for example, bibili lang naman ako ng damit. So, hindi na ako nanghihingi ng paper bag, ganyan. So, yung damit na lang talaga. Tapos yung packaging nila na plastic dun sa damit, iniiwan ko na, sabi ko, yung damit lang naman yung kailangan ko. So, yun na lang yung iuwi ko. So, every time I do that, every time I shop outside, ganun lagi yung ginagawa ko. Kasi parang feeling ko, wala naman akong space sa bahay. Anong gagawin ko dun sa mga hindi ko naman gagamitin? So, that's one, para ma-minimize yung tinatapon din nating basura kasi at the end, parang pag naipon-ipon yun, di mo naman ginagamit, iisipin mo, sooner or later, itatapon mo din naman sila. So, magpa-pile up lang din naman sa bahay mo. Tapos, di ba? So, parang yung space mo sa bahay, magiging limited na lang. Tapos maganda din kasi yung documentary sa Netflix, yung Minimalist. If you can minimize all the things that you have within your house, you can free up some spaces, then you can have a lot of energy flowing within your house. Ganyan. So try to try to check ano na ba yung mga sobrang madami na ba akong relo, ano ba na yung pwede kong i-dispose, yung mga sapatos na sobrang dami na hindi ko naman ginagamit, ano yung pwede kong i-dispose, pwedeng ibenta, pwedeng ipamigay, lalong-lalo na season of giving, tapos may mga relief operation ngayon. So parang ang daming outlet na or channel na pwede mong i-share yung mga bagay na meron ka just for you to save up space.
True.
Yan. So, yun yung isa. Then second, na-realize ko ngayong pandemic, what will happen to us kapag walang electricity, walang water. So if you don't have your own supply with electricity and with water, what will happen to you? So I advocate for yung sustainable power source like solar panels, 'di ba yung mga ganon? At least magiging sustainable ka, wala ka mang connection sa kuryente, meron kang power source. Tapos isipin natin yung bahang nakukuha natin dahil sa ulan, pero tinatapon lang naman natin yung ulan, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So you cannot see here in Metro Manila na may nagko-collect ng rain to use it na pwede din siya kasing i-filter, pwede din siyang gamiting panghugas, panlaba, everything. So pwede mong gamitin yung tubig ulan pero walang masyadong nag-a-advocate noon in Metro Manila kahit na sa provinces. Hindi natin nare-reuse. So imagine that volume of water na nasasayang lang.
And
tinatapon lang natin kung saan-saan.
Yeah, also sana ma-fund din yung research about this, no? Kasi imagine if mas marami pang taong maging aware about the technology that you can do to filter the rainwater. Lexi, I'd like to ask about your organization, Hash Travels.
Okay.
Na you've mentioned dun sa description na you have LGBTQ plus members and we are airing December 2. Yesterday, December 1 is also World AIDS Day na parang malapit sa LGBTQ plus na community. Would you like to share more about that?
That's correct. So yung mga partner ko with Hash Travels, when we've started, we are just one part of an organization which is Love Yourself. So doon kami nagkakilala. Love Yourself is an NGO advocate for HIV awareness, treatment, and education. So meron kaming clinics in Metro Manila, meron kaming 4 bago nag-pandemic. So ngayon ang active na lang namin ata is 2 clinics. So we have 1 clinic in Pasay, then another clinic in Mandaluyong. So dun sa mga taong nagpapatest for HIV, they go to our clinics sa ngayon currently, so by appointment. Then we have our counselors guiding them through the process. Yun. Tapos kapag nagre-reactive naman yung mga nagpapatest, we provide them the treatment na kinakailangan nila dun sa sakit nila. So, I do believe na sa ngayon, we already have also another clinic in Cavite, ata yung Hero. Tapos we also have one in Cebu, yung White House namin sa Cebu. We also have partnership with one clinic sa Palawan naman, Puerto Princesa.
Nice.
Yeah, so all in all, siguro mga nasa 1,000 plus na yung volunteers na meron kami sa Love Yourself. So doon kami nagkakilala, tapos etong mga volunteers sa Love Yourself, parang nagkaayaan lang mag-travel, tapos may mga alam lang na puntahan, tapos ganun na, doon na nag-start, tapos hanggang sa yung...
nyo.
Oo, tapos hanggang sa, ayun, habang nagtutour kami, syempre meron kaming knowledge about HIV, about it. Tapos minsan, alam mo yung small talk lang with strangers about it. Nagkakaroon kami ng mga ganong session, ganyan. Tapos syempre, sex positive kami. Minsan pag nagkakakulitan about it, about sexual experiences. So nagiging light yung usapan. Nagiging hindi siya ganun.
Parang icebreaker din siya, no?
Oo, yes, correct. Habang nagta-travel kami. So we have a lot of things to talk about, ganyan. Minsan chismisan, ganyan. So nakakatawa hanggang sa yung sumasali na sa Hash, yung nagjo-join sa amin, karamihan mga member or volunteer na ng Love Yourself, ganyan. Tapos yung mga staff namin, nagpapa-arrange sila nung exclusive nilang tour or exclusive na beach tour nila. So kami yung nagluluto, kami yung nag-aasikaso sa kanila. Kaya sobrang saya yung bonding na nangyayari within the organization, na isasama siya, na-extend siya into travel. And then, yung mga friends namin and families, nagpapa-arrange na din ng tour sa amin. So parang ganon. So we got to know their families as well, their friends as well outside the community. Kaya yun yung masaya with Hash Travels kasi dun siya nag-umpisa. Yun yung pinaka-core niya. Mga volunteer ng Love Yourself. Yeah.
Ganda. And also, gusto kong tanungin, paano namin ma-reach yung mga nabanggit mo, yung mga nabanggit mong mga clinics? Saan namin pwedeng puntahan na website or social media pages?
Yeah, we have Facebook social media pages. You can check yung Love Yourself Anglo and Love Yourself Victoria. Ayan. So, basta you check lang Love Yourself Clinic. Kahit sa Google Maps, makikita niyo yung mga clinic location namin. We also have our website, loveyourself.ph. Ayan. So, nandun din siya yung mga available na information about our organization.
Yeah, let's all together break the stigma of getting tested, no? If it takes na kung ako rin magpapatest, sige, sure, para wala nang mahiya. Yes, Charlie.
True.
Can I have a question, Lexi? Kasi since
Sure.
season 1, lagi na maraming tourists, no? So, I think wala pa kaming center. Well, definitely we have regional medical center. Pero wala pa kaming mga ganyang centers here in La Union. Paano siya masisimulan? Paano kaya ang process and all? Parang definitely I want to volunteer na rin at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
actually we could arrange. Oo, true. We could arrange offline.
Bata dito ngayon eh.
True, ayan. Pero initially naman, if you wanted to magkaroon ng isang malaking mass testing na tinatawag sa La Union, pwede din naman tayo mag-organize. Initially, habang hindi pa nagagawa yung community center, parang ganun, or yung clinic, or kung pwedeng maglagay man ng clinic sa La Union. So, initially, pwede tayong mag-conduct ng malakihang testing sa La Union. Madali lang naman siyang i-arrange ngayon.
Okay, sige.
We could talk about it more offline.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice, di ba? Ang ganda ng nangyayari dito. Oh, yes, Lexi.
Oo nga eh. Just to add on dun sa advocacy, kagaya nga nung sinasabi ko, more on yung sustainability, since nabanggit ko yung about power, about water. Lagi ko kasing pinapanood sa YouTube yung tiny houses, yung mga off the grid na pamumuhay. Oo, tas imagine yung ginagawa kasi nila, since kapag off the grid ka, wala kang toilet. So yung poops mo, tas yung wiwi mo, dala-dala mo pag nag-travel or nasa bahay ka, decomposed iyon. 'Di ba akala natin wala siyang hindi siya masyadong nare-recycle or hindi siya masyadong nagagamit kasi akala natin waste. Pero 'di ba there are a lot of technologies nowadays na yung poops ng tao ginagamit to something into renewable energy para mas magamit natin siya, yung mga methane, ganyan. Tapos yung wiwi din, ganyan. So there are a lot of technologies nowadays para ma-recycle yung mga yun. So sobrang nakakatuwa. Tapos one last na lang about death, kasi 'di ba usually yung body ng isang tao kapag namamatay, syempre nililibing natin, nilalagyan ng lahat ng formaldehyde, tapos kung ano-anong preservatives. So napopollute yung natin, yung soil. Tapos hindi din napapakinabangan yung mga dead bodies ng tao. So there are a lot of technologies nowadays, alternative to those type na kung paano sila i-buried. So meron ngayon yung mga ginagawang source ng pataba ng isang puno. Yung iba naman nililiquify yung body ng isang tao para maging pataba sa mga halaman. Yung mga parang ganun. So yun yung sayang kasi ng mga resources na akala natin waste lang because of beliefs and because of culture na ganun yung ginagawa natin. So hopefully maging aware din yung mga Filipinos about it, na there are so many technologies na pwedeng alternative sources of of energy, or pwedeng matransform yung mga ganong bagay sa ibang pamamaraan na mas magamit pa siya in the long run.
Tsaka ako rin personally, parang ang ganda sa feeling kapag nalaman mo na kapag ikaw ay pumanaw na, sana matagal pa, Lord, meron magiging puno ka, di ba? Ang ganda nun. Ikaw, Matt, what are the spots in the Philippines na alam mo na who are in full support of your advocacies in the LGBT community?
Well, basically for me, no, kasi 2018 when I attended the travel show in Germany, we had a meeting with IGLTA. This is actually an association of international gay and lesbian travel association, which we would like to know and understand on how to promote the Philippines as a safe destination for this type of market, the LGBT market, no? And kasi ang pinaka-importante dun is that our clients are actually protected in a way, and also safe din silang makatravel in the Philippines as well. So I think we have identified destinations. Apparently, nagkaroon nga ng pandemic, but we are actually in communications with some of the countries like Thailand, because in terms of as a destination in Asia, talagang majority of the foreign travelers travel to Thailand because widely accepted ang market
Very
na to, no?
inclusive.
And I hope that yes,
Even
and I
in
hope
their
that it
media.
will also yes, and I hope that we can also in a way start that one, kasi syempre well, Thailand, for that matter, is also very religious, while the Philippines is also a religious country for that matter. But it's really, educating the destination and educating the community. I mean, these are individuals. We call it nga the pink dollar or pink pound market, which means that tourism and LGBT market with high disposable income. And, it helps the local community, I think that's very important. And these travelers also, because majority of our clients are coming from European region, they would love to go to a destination wherein they will feel safe, they are accepted, no discrimination at all. And I think the most important thing here is really open dialogue with the government or a specific agency para at least magkaroon tayo ng baby steps. Kasi nga, mayroong mga businesses and destinations that are actually seeking to attract the pink customers that should have a duty to recognize and link yung social acceptance of such gender preferences, no?
Mm-hmm.
And kasi government legislation is so napakadaming pwede pang gawin, but I think it's important for us to be able to do the baby steps, kasi baka mamaya magulat din yung destination. Diba?
And
so we have identified nga.
Go. You have identified.
Sure. No, yeah.
Naisip ko lang na for us to have a cultural change, it takes it takes gradually, and at the same time an effort of the whole community. It takes a different various stakeholders to achieve this goal. And I feel like kung gradually siya, mas magiging effective kasi hindi biglaan eh. Kasi kapag biglaan, parang inimpose yun eh. And I feel like through education, like what you said, it would be one of the best ways to really have an inclusive, more inclusive spots or tourist destinations in the Philippines. Now, going back to what you were saying, you have identified.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so we have identified certain destinations initially when we had a meeting with the government. No, like, of course, it's easy for us to promote Manila, Cebu, Bohol, Boracay, Palawan, and Mindoro because these are actually the destinations na easier to promote, and of course, in terms of accessibility, in terms of readiness, no. Believe nga ako dun sa although hindi naman tayo actively promoting. I mean, the government is not actively promoting to invite this market, no. But believe ako dun sa isang country that they really have a fund for this, na they are openly promoting to the LGBT market. Like, for example, they say where prejudice stays in the closet. So it really attracts the people to come to the destination na feeling nila talagang safe sila, and they will really enjoy that. They can walk, that they can interact with the locals. No, it's like also promoting sustainable tourism and slow food, slow travel.
And Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is part of the sustainability model to be more inclusive. Diba? It is
Yes, definitely.
Diba? So thank you so much for bringing that up, Matt. Ikaw, Ralph, what are the spots in the Philippines who are in full support of your advocacies in the LGBT community?
For me, most of the spots naman dito sa Philippines ay nag-accept naman ng LGBT kasi majority naman ng mga kasama ko nagta-travel LGBT. Like for GX, for example, we've been to Cebu, to Calaguas, to Abra, to Baguio, to Maniwaya in Masbate, to Camiguin, even in Camiguin in Mindanao. And the key thing is we respect people. Respect people in the community and respect us. And from there, magkakaroon na ng exchange of magkakaroon ng communication or exchange of ideas. Then doon nagkakaroon ng exchange of information na pag LGBT community, tao din tayo, and they belong to the same world, parang ganon. We belong to the same world, parang ganon. Doon na nagkakaroon ng exchange of information at doon na na-educate yung community. From there, nag-spread na yung information about sa presence ng LGBT community and bakit kailangan natin i-accept yung community na yun.
Thank you, Ralph. Ikaw, Juven, ano yung masasabi mo or what would be your message to all the travelers in connection to what we've just been discussing? Dahil ikaw ata yung pinakalagalag dito dahil bilang trabaho mismo yung mag-travel.
Siguro ang mapapayo ko lang sa mga magta-travel is to have patience, of course. Siyempre kung gusto mo mag-travel, talagang dadaan ka sa quarantine protocol, sa mga safety protocols na kailangang sundin. But I do encourage everyone na pag nagkaroon na ng leeway na, oy, pwede na tong destination na to napuntahan, go book your flights kasi especially like ang daming maapektuhang trabaho kapag namatay ang mga airline industries or tourism industries na parang even I worried na parang